Alright, so what is up? What is going on, you lot? Welcome back to another video. Now I'm here today at Combe Valley Campers and we're going to be doing a few little upgrades to my van. For those of you that don't know, I have been really struggling with power in the van. I've got tons of lipos to charge. My laptop at the moment completely rinses the leisure battery I've got in the van now. But I'm going to pass you over to Lee and he's going to explain a little bit more.
Hello everybody, my name's Lee. I am Director of Combe Valley Campers and also the host of the YouTube channel for Combe Valley Campers, where we can help you build your camper van. Today, obviously, we've got Jack down here. We're effectively rewiring his house for him. As he's explained, he's got not a lot of power capability within his van to charge his drone batteries, his laptop, and just his day-to-day life. So what we're going to do is go into the van itself, tear out all of the existing battery system, wiring system, charging system. We're going to relocate it into the back of the van, improve the battery. So we're going to go from an AGM battery, which Jack currently has, to a huge lithium-ion battery, and that should give Jack all the capability he needs for days, effectively, especially if it's your house or if you're living in your van. You're going to need some high capability within the power bank, so to speak. So I think what we'll do, we'll show you what Jack's already got within the van, where we're going to relocate the new stuff and show you some of the new equipment. So before we make a start, I just want to say thanks to Jack for letting us work on his van. In terms of what he's got, if I lift these two seats here, I'm in the driver's seat right now. This is the double passenger seat. Now, as far as I understand, most of this is what Jack had in the van when it was bought. He added the C-Tech charger. Now that's a DC to DC charger and a solar panel MPPT controller, all built into one little unit. And what that does is it takes in the voltage from the solar panel and regulates the voltage so it can feed into his battery without overcharging it. And it also connects to the vehicle battery, so when the engine is running, it takes the charge from the vehicle battery and then it feeds it into this battery here. It's a pretty comprehensive system now, but what we need to do is basically tear it all out and start again, and we're going to be fitting a much larger battery. We're going to have to move the fuse panel, the C-Tech, the battery, the solar wiring, which is a bit of a shame because we've already put it in there, but we did make provisions to make it long enough to go all the way to the back of the van. And yeah, it's gonna basically change your life, Jack. I think it's gonna keep you going for days and days. Oh, also, we're gonna be making this seat so it can spin around. And if any of you out there who own vans or live in a van or just use it for your day-to-day vehicle, you have the ability of spinning this seat right round with what's called a swivel base. And that will basically increase the usability of your van. It's gonna open up the rear space, the living space up so much. And also, when you've got pals in the van as well, you can spin the seat round and you can also sit round a table. And I think what we'll do is go into the back, show you where the stuff's going. So the van we're in, and you've seen from Jack's other videos, is a short wheelbase Transit Custom. And they're not the biggest of vans, but they are slightly wider than the VW alternative, the Transporter, T5, T6, whatever. But there's still not a lot of space to store things like battery power, especially if you want a swivel base, such as Jack's having. If I show you now down below, right in this area here is going to be perfect for mounting the battery. It's going to be a brilliant location. We can make sure it's locked down into the floor so it doesn't move anywhere. I think we're going to put another shelf in here, probably about this level, to make sure all of the battery components and the inverter and everything is going to be safe. It's not going to get damaged, not going to overheat. But as you can see, all of this wiring up here is a little bit homemade. So we're more than likely going to be rewiring most of this anyway. Yeah, we'll just make a bit more of a professional job out of it, I think.
All right, so we've got all of this fancy stuff on the table that I've got not much clue what it does.
The blue gear is the stuff most people want. It's by a company called Victron. Victron is almost the industry standard. There's lots of other competitors, lots of different alternatives. However, you know, it's like having a nice pair of shoes on your feet. If you've got some blue Victron stuff in your van, you know, there's some points there. So what we've got here is a DC to DC charger, and this here is the big daddy of the equipment, apart from the battery. This is a 1.2 kilowatt inverter charger. What this will enable the van to do is convert 12 volt DC from the battery into 230 to 240 volts AC, which is basically household electrics. We've got a new fuse panel here which we can replace all the fuses in that back cupboard like we spoke about. We've got some really impressive pre-terminated leads that will connect all the batteries, chargers and inverters together. But I think what we'll do, we'll clear this table down, we'll put it all back in the box and we shall unbox the swivel base that's going to go in here. In front of me then is what makes the magic happen in terms of spinning the seat. This huge, heavy, very well built base sits between the floor of the van and the base of this seat here. You bolt the seat to this, and then once you've unlocked these pins, you can spin these knobs here, lock them in that upward position, and then you just spin the whole base. So once your seat's on there, you can literally turn the seat round and it's pointing back to the inside of the van, and you've just opened up next level comfort in your van pretty much. These are available from our shop at combevalleycampers.co.uk. Gonna leave a little plug in there, Jack, for you.
In the description down below.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gotta get the plugs in. Pretty much everything that's available now that we can fit for you, or we can shop for you, or you can buy it directly from our website. And this is one of the reasons why Jack's here, I guess, because he found us on Instagram, found us on YouTube.
And these guys were really helpful when I needed a bit of help and didn't charge me anything for just a little bit of advice.
Well, this is it. Yeah, we get lots of phone calls a day, we get lots of emails a day, we get lots of people who have found us through the likes of social media and the YouTube platform, and then they ask for advice on the van, and we're always happy to give a bit of advice. Right, so without further ado, I think let's start tearing into this, ripping out the old system and putting in the new. All the electrics are now out, so one of the first things we need to do is remove the seat for two reasons. One, obviously, because we're fitting that swivel base, and two is to pull out all of this wiring and reroute it all the way to the back of the van, because that's where our main fuse panel is going to be, and then we can basically make this van a lot more efficient, safer and more reliable, because some of this wiring is
A bit naff.
a bit substandard, but it did the job.
So, did you want to explain where my kitchen has gone?
Yeah, we've had a good look at the wiring. We've seen where we need to route our wiring, and it's going to just make our lives so much easier if we just remove everything, which hasn't been too much of a task, to be honest, because there's no permanent water plumbed in, there's no permanent gas plumbed in, there's no permanent wiring plumbed in, and the stuff that was, we've already cut out anyway. One of the big deals was the fact that there was not this loom, the loom's now in the pile over there, but there was this big bundle of cables coming here, and what the converter had done when they built this van was actually run it under the floor, so there was no chance we could pull it out without tearing everything out. Sometimes it's just easier to rip it out and start again, so that's exactly what we're doing. So I'm sorry, Jack, you know, but what a good opportunity to clean, reorganise and everything else.
Yeah.
This will get a deep clean now. You've already ripped out a load of stuff, but we've filled our work table over there with all of the bits and pieces that were left in it, but that's not a problem.
For a little bit of an example, I did empty the van out as much as I can, and the rest of the stuff that's in the van is currently sitting on this table right here. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to reorganise the entire van once this is all done and everything's wired up and back in place. So this is all of the stuff we've torn out with the kitchen and the cupboard at the back.
None of this is required, and that includes bits of cable tie, ends of cables, because we're basically going to make it new again. I look forward to showing you what it looks like when we're all done. Now that's going in the bin.
Fully inside the cupboard.
At all. Right, I'll tell you what, actually,
You made that look really
that was
easy.
incredibly easy. I wasn't expecting anything remotely close to that.
Alright, so this is looking pretty crazy right now. What can you tell me about it?
For just a very small home, you've got quite the capacity here. obviously the only thing that you could probably recognise from your original van is this control panel and maybe this CTEC. This CTEC was mounted under the seat. This is now acting as a standalone MPPT controller because you have a DC to DC charger. Sorry, my brain went fizzy then. But your original controller we actually rewired with a different loom. So you don't have any of the fuses hanging out the back like you did. You've actually got a standalone 6-gang fuse panel here. Got the addition of two 240 volt sockets. They will be wired in once this unit is in the van. In order to charge your battery when on the move, you now have a DC to DC controller. To charge your battery whilst you're not on the move, you have an MPPT controller, which is where the solar power feeds into. And the star of the show is the 1200 50 Victron Multiplus inverter charger. So we've now rerouted the cabling from under the seat to this point here, and the diesel heater will be powered by the battery via that fuse panel. So yeah, lots going on.
So as you can see, there's a lot going on. It's pretty complex and something that I don't think I could quite do on my own. Or I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, this man can wire up drones, I can't. But we do this for a living, so we can do it.
Yeah, smashed it.
Yeah.
So it has been a few hours since we've spoken, but all the electrics and the battery is finally installed. So Lee and Ross have absolutely gone in and smashed this out. Put a lot of hard work, and it's all really clean and tidy.
It's late. I'm not even going to tell you what time it is. Underestimated the job, but we also went over and above because the van's worth it. We know Jack lives in the van, and he's a good lad. You know, he kind of deserves it. What we've got in there now then is a completely rewired house, effectively. We spoke to Jack and said, look, we could fit you a shelf in there. So basically, we've divided up the living space in the cupboard, and it hides the battery and the fuses, but if Jack does need to get inside, literally needs to slide that out, the shelf will come out and then come through the door. Really chuffed with it, really chuffed with it. It's come out well, however, we've had to put the effort in to get this one done, haven't we, pal?
So now the van's pretty much done. Having the swivel seat at the front has made the van feel so much more open and gave it so much more space. And having a bigger battery at the back has made life so much easier. I'm now able to run an air fryer, charge my laptop, charge all my drone batteries, and there's no problems at all. So as again, I will leave a link down below to Combe Valley Campers YouTube channel where you can check out all these videos. They've got a bunch of tutorials if you're trying to build your own van, or if you need a bit of help, you can email them, call them, message them on Instagram or anything like that. The van is done. They're going to put back the cupboard door on, and then I need to drive to London to go back to work. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace.